Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning, students. I hope you all are doing good and taking good care of yourself. So, welcome back to English grammar class. And today we would be continuing with the chapter Adjectives from the Grammar Gate textbook. Before moving towards our today's topic, let's just revise the topics which we studied previously. Let's see what we studied in the previous video. Adjectives that are used to modify a noun so that we know which specific person, place or thing is mentioned are said to be demonstrative adjectives. The demonstrative adjectives are this, that, these and those. So we use this to refer to a person or a thing which is singular in number and near the speaker. That means this book, as you can see in the image. We use that to refer to the person or a thing which is singular in number but it is at distance from the speaker. That means it is far away from the speaker. For example, that book. And we use these to refer to the people or things that are near the speaker. So these is used for plural form and the thing which is near the speaker. So these books. And last one is those. It is used to refer to the people or things that are plural in number but far away from the speaker. For example, those books. So here these, this, that and those are demonstrative adjectives. Now let's see one more thing which we studied, that is interrogative adjectives. And interrogative adjectives are adjectives used with noun to ask questions. That means the adjectives which are placed before the noun to describe the noun, and along with it, it also asks the question. So let's see the example over here. The first one is, whose book are you reading? So here the word whose, which describes the book, is also asking a question. So it is an interrogative adjective. In the same way, second one, which car are you driving? Your word which is describing the car and it is also used to ask the question. And in the last one, what color is this flower? Here the word what is describing the noun color, and so it is a describing word and also it is used to ask a question. So what is also an interrogative adjective. Now let's move on towards our today's topic, and that is the rest two remaining types of adjectives, and those are adjectives of quantity and adjectives of number. So let's see adjectives of quantity. Adjectives of quantity tell us about the quantity of a noun or pronoun. So we have already studied that adjectives describe the noun, but if it is showing the quantity, that means amount or number, then it is said to be adjective of quantity. You need to remember one more thing about it. They are used to describe uncountable nouns. So students, we have already learnt what are uncountable nouns. The nouns which we are not able to count. For example, tea, sugar, wood, etc. These are uncountable nouns. So adjectives of quantity are used along with uncountable nouns. They answer the question how much. So the adjectives of quantity will answer the question how much. For example, if I say some sugar, so here how much sugar we are talking about? Some sugar. So some is an adjective of quantity. Let's see one example over here. The crow drank some water. So here the word water is a noun. And how much water did the crow drink? That is some water. So some is describing the noun water, which is an uncountable noun. And so it is said to be adjective of quantity. So words like some, any, much, few, enough, all, sufficient, etc. are adjectives of quantity. Let's see one more image given over here. It says there isn't much sugar in the bag. So students, here the word sugar is the noun and the word much, which is used before the noun, is describing the sugar and it is answering the question how much. So much is an adjective of quantity. Let's see some more examples of adjectives of quantity. Let's see the first one. It says, I ate sufficient rice today. So here students, sufficient is describing the noun rice, which is an uncountable noun, and so sufficient is adjective of quantity. In the same way, in the second image, it says, do we have enough money to buy tickets? So here students, money is the noun and the word describing money is enough. So enough is adjectives of quantity used for uncountable noun money. Students, you need to remember that we are talking about money in general. If we say 10 coins or if we say 10 notes of 100 rupee note, so those are countable, but if we are using money in general, that is an uncountable noun. So now let's move towards the another type of adjective, that is adjectives of number. So students, let's see what is adjectives of number. Adjectives that are used to depict either the number of nouns or their position or places in certain order are said to be adjectives of number. So adjectives which shows the number of the nouns or pronouns, or it shows the position, for example first, second, third, or how many of them, one, two, three, or few, some, many, those are said to be adjectives of number and they are used to describe countable nouns. So students, adjective of quantity is used for uncountable noun and adjectives of number is used to describe countable nouns. And they answer the question how many. So when you get the answer for how many, those adjectives are said to be adjective of number. And I hope students that you remember what are countable nouns. Countable nouns are those which we can count. Let's see some examples. For example, third, five, some, many, all, any, few, each, every, no, etc. These are adjectives of number. Now, adjectives of number are divided into three types. The first one is called definite numerals. Second one is called indefinite numerals. And the third one is called distributive numerals. And students, adjectives of number can also be called numeral adjectives. So let's study each type of adjective of number in detail. So first of all, we will see definite numeral adjectives. Definite numeral adjectives are used to denote exact number or position of the subject in the sentence. So here, these adjectives give us an exact number or position of the noun which it is describing. And they also describe countable nouns only. Now, definite numeral adjectives are of two types. The first one is called cardinals and the second one is called ordinals. Let's see some examples of definite numeral adjectives. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. are called cardinals and first, second, third, and so on are called ordinals. So let's study what are cardinals. So cardinals are the numbers such as 1, 2, 3, which denotes exact number of the noun or pronoun, and so they are called definite numeral adjective. Let's see some example. There are 10 penguins in the picture. So, in this picture given over here, we can see that there are 10 penguins. So, in this sentence, penguins is the noun and the word 10 tells us how many penguins are there. And so 10 is the cardinal, or you can say definite numeral adjective, because it answers the question how many. And you all know that penguins are countable nouns. So the word 10 is an adjective and it is called cardinals. Let's see one more example. There are 5 diaries and 2 pens lying on the table. So students, can you guess which are the cardinals over here? Yes, we have two nouns in this picture, that is diaries and pens, and the word 5 describe the diaries, that how many diaries are there on the table. So you get the answer 5. So 5 is a cardinal. And in the same way, when you ask how many pens are lying on the table, you get the answer 2 pens. So the word 2 is describing the noun pens, and so it is a cardinal. So let's move on to the next type of indefinite numeral adjective, and that is ordinals. Ordinals such as first, second, third, etc. denotes the order or the position of the thing in the series. So ordinals are such kind of adjective which describes the position, for example first, second, third, or the order in which the batsmen are coming. So those order or position which describes about the noun are said to be ordinals. So here in the image you can see the three boys standing at different position. The winner is standing on the first position, then another boy is standing at second position, and the third one is standing on the third position. So these shows the position of these boys, and so they are called ordinals. Let's see one example. For example, Sunday is the first day of the week. So here day is the noun and the word first is showing the position of the day, and so it is also describing the noun and it is said ordinals. Now let's move on towards our second type of adjectives of number, that is indefinite numeral adjective. These adjectives do not give an exact number of nouns or pronouns but give a general idea about its number. So students, indefinite numeral adjectives are also same as definite, but the only difference is it do not give an exact number, just like cardinal or ordinal. It gives you a general idea about the number of nouns. And also remember that it describes the countable nouns only. So indefinite numeral adjectives are used with countable nouns only. For example, few, some, many, all, no, several, enough, etc. So these are some words which we use as indefinite numeral adjectives. Let's see some examples. The first image says Ria bought some new dresses. So here new dresses is the noun, and how many dresses did she brought? She bought some new dresses. So although the dresses are countable, we are using the word some, which is considered to be an indefinite numeral adjective which is describing the countable noun dresses. Let's see the second image. It says there are many students in the class. So here students is the noun and it is also countable, but the word many, which is describing the noun students, is not telling about the exact number of students, and so many is also an indefinite numeral adjective. So students, remember that indefinite numeral adjectives are used for countable nouns, but it don't give you an exact number. Now let's see the difference between indefinite numeral adjectives and adjectives of quantity. Let me tell you one thing. Indefinite numeral adjective is used for countable nouns and adjectives of quantity is used for uncountable nouns. But the words which we use as an indefinite numeral adjective and adjective of quantity might be same. You can see the image given over here. Here it says that there are some mangoes in the basket. So here the noun mangoes is countable and the word describing the mangoes is some, and so it is an indefinite numeral adjective because it is describing the word mangoes, which is countable nouns, but we don't get an exact number of mangoes. So here the word some is said to be indefinite numeral adjective. Let's see the second image over here. It says there is some rice in the bowl. So students, you might have noticed that in both the sentences, the adjective used to describe the noun is some. But in this sentence, there is some rice in the bowl. The noun is rice, which is an uncountable noun. And so, the word some, which is used to describe the noun rice, is said to be adjective of quantity, which are always used to describe uncountable noun. So students, when some words which are used as an adjective and are same, but if they are describing countable nouns, they are said to be indefinite numeral adjective, and if they are describing uncountable nouns, then they are said to be adjectives of quantity. So let's see the last type of adjective of number, that is distributive numeral adjectives. Now, what is distributive numeral adjective? Those adjectives that are used to refer to individual nouns within a whole are called distributive numeral adjectives. That means these adjective refers to each and every person in the group. So, although it is referring to a singular person, but they are talking about the whole class, it refers to each one of a noun or pronoun. So, distributive numeral adjectives refers to each number of pronoun in the group, and it is usually followed by singular nouns. So, these adjectives normally refer to singular person, but they are usually talking about the whole group. For example, if I say each student must complete their homework, so over here I am talking or referring to the whole class, but I am using the word each along with the student. That means I am talking about each and every student. So, although there are many students, but I am not going to write each students, I'll write each student. So, numeral adjectives are always followed by a singular noun. Let's see the image for clear understanding. Here we can see that they are watering each plant. So there are many plants kept over there. That means they would be watering all the plants. But I have used the word each to describe the noun plant. So each is a distributive numeral adjective which is referring to the whole group of plants one by one. Let's see one more example given over here. Every student must respect the teacher. So here, student is the noun and the word describing the noun is every, and that is used for each and every student present in the class. And so, every is said to be distributive numeral adjective. So students, I hope that you have understood all the types of adjective of number and adjective of quantity clearly. Here I am giving you a small exercise related all the types of adjectives which we have studied till now. So here you have to find out the adjectives, underline them and also write the type of adjective. Let me do the first one for you. There is some sugar in the brown tin. So here there are two adjectives. The first one is some, which is describing the noun sugar. And as sugar is uncountable, the word some, which is describing the quantity of the sugar, is said to be adjective of quantity. And the word brown is describing the noun tin. And what color is the tin? It's brown. So brown is said to be adjective of quality. So rest of them you have to do it by yourself. We would check it in the next video. And if you have any doubts related to any type of adjective, please write it down in the comment box given below the video. We would try to solve your problems as soon as possible. Thank you, students.